Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about rabbit farming for beginners. If you have clicked on this video, it's either you are about to start rabbit farming or you have started rabbit farming and don't know exactly what to do next. This video is going to cover those who just started and those who are thinking of starting a rabbit farming. So you may not know where to start from, what to do if you just started, what to feed your rabbit, how to expand, or even how to choose the type of farming you want to do. So in this video, I'm going to cover all of that. But we can only cover as much. So if you are just getting started, I have rabbit riches. I have written a book, comprehensive book, a comprehensive guide on how to start a profitable rabbit farming. In that book, I cover much more, like even marketing, how to choose your breed. Even though all of that, we're going to cover it here, but that book went much deeper. So if you want to get the book, you can check the link in the description. So now let's get started. As an aspiring rabbit farmer who want to start rabbit farming and don't know what to do, so let's talk about what you will need first before you can say, okay, let me start rabbit farm. First, you will need a space that has the balance of light and shade during the day. You will need a housing or cage to where they can stay. And then you will need food. And then you will need the rabbit itself. And most of all, you will need little steady income from other sources. From there, you can take some money to take care of your rabbit. These are basically all that you need to start rabbit farming. So let's talk about making decision before you start rabbit farming. Basically, there are two types of rabbit farming. Farming for meat, where you can also use the fur. And then if you are farming for entertainment or for pet use. So it's either of these two. So you need to make a decision so that you will know the type of breed you need to select for each of these type of farm. But in this video, we're going to keep it very simple. We're going to go with farming for meat. If you want to farm for meat, this video gets you covered. However, the similarity are just in the selection of breed. That is, the major difference is just in the selection of breed. So you can also follow this video up if you want to go for rabbit farming for pet or for meat. But basically, I'm going to cover meat rabbit farming. Hence, we have decided we want to go with rabbit farming for meat. There are a lot of breed you can select from, like New Zealand White, Dutch breed. You can select from this. There are other bigger giant breed that you can go for. I covered that a lot in my book. So if when you get the book Rabbit Riches, you will see vast selection that you can go with. But in this part of the world, commonly we go for New Zealand White or Dutch breed. These are all good rabbit for meat, in case if you want to go with that as well. So, however, some people select Dutch breed if they want to go with entertainment and pet also. But in all of these, you can also select from across any breed. Basically, you need something that can grow big and very fast. So, after you have selected your breed, now let's talk about the number of rabbit you're going to start with. But before that, after you have selected your breed that you want to go for, before you stock, you need to create a housing for the rabbit. You know, remember we said you needed a space where you can keep the housing for the rabbit. So after you made that choice, you need to create a cage like this or other type of hatch. There are several type of rabbit hatches. So, but in this case, I'm going to make reference to this type of cage. It is simple, cheap, and affordable. So you can use wood to create or make this to yourself, or you create, or you give it to a professional carpenter who can construct this for you. However, I have a video where I cover if you want to make this by yourself. So if you use wood, it is very cheap and easy to start with, but it has a recurrent maintenance. but it is expensive if you want to go with metal cages. Metal cages are more durable and there's no need of regular maintenance because it is steel and the rabbit themselves will not be able to destroy the steel. But if you are going for the wood, bear in mind that the rabbit will eat some part of the wood, and water, raining, corrosion, and all of that can happen during the year. So it will require maintenance. So you can discuss that with someone who want to construct this for you, or if you want to construct it yourself. In the Rabbit book, I also covered the materials, and if you want to go with personal DIY construction, it is also covered. I also have videos on this channel. You can check the playlist Rabbit Farming for Beginners, and you'll find all you need in that playlist. So after you have created the housing for your rabbit or the hutches for your rabbit, this is the next step you need to go to. You need to stock your rabbit. So stocking your rabbit depending on the space you are starting with and the finances you have. So but I recommend as a beginner, you will need a learning curve. So do not go and buy many rabbits because you are eager to make profit. So start small, then grow your experience as you go. You can increase or you allow your rabbit to naturally expand when you start breeding the rabbit. So I advise that you get a single buck, that is a male rabbit, and then you buy two females. Yes, two females. And the age you should be targeting is between 4 months to 7 months. So do not buy below 4 months, because if you buy below 4 months, you may need to still keep the rabbit for a little while before they can conceive. So a female rabbit can get pregnant from the age of 4, that is when they are at 4 months, and the male rabbit naturally start breeding within 6 to 7 months. So you can see if you buy 4 to 5 month old rabbit, you only need to keep them for 2 months before you breed, or even less than that. So do not go below that. So if you want to stock your rabbit as a beginner, even if you have the money, I advise that you just go for 3. Then as you learn and grow with experience, you can then increase or expand. So, but it is very easy for you to learn when you have them few than you buy them many and they start dying. You don't know what to do. But with little few rabbits, you can manage them. When you grow your knowledge, you can then expand into wider farming. So after you stock your rabbit, 2 females and a single male rabbit, it will be time to start feeding your rabbit. We are lucky for you, rabbit is not a very complex animal like chickens where you need a specific type of food and as they grow you change the food. No, with rabbit, once you buy the 4 months old, the food is very common. You can give them hay, that is dry grasses. That is, if you can find dry grasses, that will be best for them. So you can also feed them grain or grain shaft. These are all dry food. Basically, they survive 90% of the time on dry food like greens, hay. So you can make your own hay by just cutting Timothy grass, elephant grass, dry them under the shade, then you feed them to it. So, but sometimes during the rainy season, it is difficult to dry grasses because the weather will be wet and moisture would be much. So it is difficult to dry grasses unless if you have a large stock or you can buy from the market. But want to keep it simple and cheap, you can also feed them fresh grasses once in a while, like 40% of the time during the rainy season. Then you supplement that with greens, because greens are dry across seasons. So you can also give them shaft from the green. They all feed on that and it is highly nutritious. So you can see the feeding is very simple. Even when you don't have money to buy paddies or greens or green shaft, you can just walk into the bush, cut your grass, Timothy or elephant grass and other grasses. Then you just dry them under the shade and feed your rabbits. So it's relatively very cheap to feed your rabbits. You can see that. However, if you have a good budgeting, you can buy chicken food, that is grower, the one they feed chicken once they are 1 month old. So you can feed your rabbit those ones and they will grow fast, but that is quite expensive. And in rabbit farming for beginners, we need to keep all the expenses down so that when you are selling, you can sell at a very competitive market price. So after you have fed your rabbit very well, they will of course grow. So it is time to expand your farm. So to expand is either you bring in more rabbit like 1 month old or 2 months old, or you breed what you have. So you will need to breed a single buck, that is a single male rabbit can breed up to 15 rabbits. So now you have only 2 rabbits for a start, so you can just simply breed them. So there are times that they will not need to breed, they will not be in the mood to breed. So you may need to separate them for a while, like 2-3 days, then you bring them back and it will cross the female rabbit. So once you cross the female rabbit, from that date, you need to write the date down, because after 30 to 31 days or 29 to 31 days, you will be expecting that the rabbit is going to give birth to younger ones. So to prepare yourself for that, you will need a nesting box. And you also need to separate the female rabbits so that each of them will be in their space for safe delivery. So you create a nesting box like this, like the one you can see on the video now. So if you don't know how to do this, I already made a video on how to do it yourself. You can check the card or the link in the description. Or you can simply just take this video, a screenshot, and show it to carpenter, and they will construct you a nesting box. This nesting box is going to keep the young ones safe and allow them to survive. That way you will grow and have a profitable rabbit farming. Do not allow them to litter in the space around. Just allow them to grow inside the nesting box. So once you have new babies, there are things you will need to do to make sure the new babies survive. However, I will not be able to cover it on this video, but you can check the link in the description. I made a very detailed video on how to take care of your rabbit right from day one. So you can check the link in the description or the card above to watch that video. This is how you can start rabbit farming if you are a beginner. So all you need to do now is to expand, create more housing, and then buy more food or create more, dry more grasses to feed to your newborn baby rabbit. By the time they are 15 days old, they will start nibbling with solid food. So you need to make sure you get ready for that. So then you also need to expand the housing, because you cannot keep them all through together. Once they are 2 months, or that is 6 to 8 weeks, you can then wean the rabbit and take them to their own space and start repeating the same process all over again. So that is how you can go into rabbit farming as a beginner and then grow this exponentially. So if you have any question, leave it in the comment. And if this video is helpful, please leave in a comment and like and share it to somebody who might find this useful as well. And also, if you want to know how to market your rabbit, I covered that in details in the Rabbit Riches book. So you can find it on Amazon, and you can also buy it from the local store if you are living in Nigeria. So, but globally, you can just buy from Amazon. It covers marketing and how to sell fast. So this is basically, if you are a beginner, if you are just starting and don't know what to do, these are all you need to have in mind. So in case if there is anything I didn't cover and you've been wondering what the answers may be, please leave it in the comments. I will do you well to respond to all questions. And also, if you have another topic you want me to cover regarding rabbit, please also leave it in the comments. You can also go through all my videos. I made a lot of videos that has to do with rabbit farming and how to go about little or complex challenges that comes with rabbit farming. So until I see you again on the next one, my name is SSB Otaru for Bani Backyard.